Hello everyone, and welcome to Tuesday Night Modern here at Top Deck Productions. This is the 5th and final night of our July Modern League. I'm Jake Valentine, back again. Had a brief respite, went to Columbus, celebrate the girlfriend's birthday, saw Cody in Cambria, take it back Sunday, ate some food, drank some alcoholic beverages.
Without us.
Had a really jolly good time. Joined again by Adam Olds. Adam, how are you doing this evening?
Ahoy hoy.
Doing pretty good?
Ahoy hoy.
That's ahoy hoy. It's a little wet and rainy here in Cincinnati.
It is. It's quite moist.
Ahoy, ahoy is really appropriate. We got Robert Meadows and Phil Jones playing here. Meadows in the Meadows Teamer Special, I imagine. I see a Goif. I see a blue card. I see a Stomping Ground. We have Phil Jones on Mudda White Taxes.
Who do you like in this matchup?
I like Phil because...
you just like Phil in general. You like the cut of his jib.
Phil knows his Taxes deck really well, whereas Meadows has been playing a different Teamer deck each and every week this month, and I feel like it's at a disadvantage to him because he's playing something different every week, so he doesn't have the reps with it, where Phil does, and this is a pretty strong play. It's a turn 1, a turn 2 Thalia on the play, and Meadows has to in response opt, otherwise he cannot cast that opt this turn.
He did draw a Dismember, though, which is going to be integral, although he is playing a more creature-based deck with a combo kill.
What is it like a...
He is playing Temur Kiki. Kiki-Jiki with Temur.
Okay. Oh, he's
no, he's not.
He's not playing that.
He changed.
He was
too lazy to build it.
Supposed to build this.
So literally, he's just playing Temur pile. All right, perfect.
But the question is, does it have Meadows' namesake card, Nardum Renegade? That's the question we have to...
If it doesn't, then I feel lied to as an American citizen.
So we're going to keep you up to date throughout the night, because this is, again, the final week of the Modern League. Both Meadows and Jones are live for prizes. First place is all locked up. David Weisenberg off the back of Ad Nauseum and KCI all month long. He's been playing really well. He has first place all locked up, so congratulations to him. Justin Gebbing, Mark Larson, Chuck Brennan, Patrick Aguilar, Phil Jones, and Robert Meadows are all live for second and third place. Zach Karras was kind of live, but he's not in the building tonight.
What? Really?
Correct. He was a long shot. We'll pull up the standings while these players...
What excuse does he have? We have to publicly shame him.
Not sure. Also, after this round, we're going to announce the plans for the second... for the next Modern League.
I think it's the third, the fourth?
But I think it's the fourth one. We see a Dismember on Phil's Thalia, and then... Phil will take care of the Temur going to the Pact of Exile there. So far, both players not having a board presence here, and Mr. Fields is down to 13. He's got Ghost Coded. The Lumbering Falls Ghost Coded away.
Aggressive. He young, too lazy to build Kiki Fields. Yeah, Bob is a little light on red mana there.
Yeah, he is. He's got Forest Island. How do you think that fares for Mr. Fields moving forward?
I think only his reach is red, so his burn spells. I don't think he's really playing red creatures, so he's okay as long as he drops the Tarmogoyf.
He should have a Huntmaster, though, correct?
He does have a Huntmaster, okay. Yeah. The one of Huntmaster, aka the Mark Antlicker special from his top 16.
Actually, Mark won the IQ recently.
Yeah, he did.
Congratulations to Mark Antlicker. You normally heard him and Mark Kabari doing Fredivit Moderns in the past.
And I was chastising him for playing cards I own that are in these colors.
Both players have moved on to bigger and better things and moving away. Mario Kabari came in 9th at the Star City Standard Classic in Indianapolis this past weekend. He is going to grad school in Madison, and Mark is moving on to at least South Bend, Indiana. Here's a Jace the Mind Sculptor from Mr. Fields. That's a pretty good card there. He also has the red source on the battlefield in the basic mountains, as well as a Stomping Ground in hand. He also has the ability, more importantly, to have a perfect Brainstorm with that Misty Rainforest in hand. Phil's going to follow up with a Thalia Heretic Cathar, which will throw a wrench into that perfect Brainstorm plan.
And he just immediately goes quarters his red source, which I don't mind.
They got it all. Well, I didn't do it on top of my life.
Maybe he might not have another basic mountain.
No.
Although
it's important to note that the way Thalia Heretic Cathar says is that your opponent's creatures and non-basic lands come into play untapped, which means Phil is still able to play his Ghost Quarter untapped. Yeah, come into play tapped, I'm sorry. So Phil's still able to play the non-basics untapped. Fields is not. Bolt the draw there from Mr. Fields. Little awkward. He cannot bolt this Thalia this turn. Also, if he wants to save Jace, he cannot Brainstorm with Jace, because otherwise Jace will just die to the Thalia.
Sorry.
You're doing some research for one of our segments tonight.
I'm doing.
How's it going on, Violence? Glad you are here. Glad each and every one of you are here tonight. As here is a... We're going to dismember. This is a really aggressive play. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, I mean, conversely, he could have literally just bounced at Thalia. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't think... I have a hard time seeing how Phil wins this game because they don't have the board presence. And at any time, unless Phil plays like a 2-for-1 value creature, like the card that makes a golem, a splicer, blade splicer, he's going to have problems catching up because Bob can always just bounce his creature. So he definitely has a tempo advantage with the tap out Jace with nothing on the other side.
Bob has done a really good job of taking care and weathering the storm of Phil's annoyances. As you mentioned, Phil has no board state. He's doing a really good job of annoying Fields, but he's not following up with anything. He's not putting any pressure. So
he needed this a while ago. Yeah. This is a fantastic card against Jace the Mind Sculptor, but
it's really late here.
It is. So I actually tier 1 decks names.
I mean, these are what they're playing. Phil is playing Mono White Taxes, and Mr. Fields is playing the Meadows Special. Bob Fields' real name is Robert Meadows. That's why he's called the Meadows Special, and he really likes his Temur colors.
Do you think it's fair in this matchup?
If Phil had any pressure, I like his stance, but he's just had nothing to follow.
He's a bit on the back foot. Yeah.
Like he's been able to tax the Temur deck, but he has nothing to finish, nothing to seal the deal with.
Yeah, I kind of like Phil because in this matchup in a vacuum, so Bob does have 1-for-1 removal and Snapcaster Mages, but at the same time, Phil has a lot of he has instant speed reaction as long as he has 4 mana to resto, or he has that an Aether Vial that Bob's gonna have problems dealing with.
This vial came down really late.
Yeah, traditionally Temur decks they don't really have a lot of synergy. They just have raw card power. So. And because Bob doesn't have a Goyf here, he's going to have trouble closing out the game. Because you notice Bob's already at 8, and Phil's still at 20.
Here was an interesting line here. Bob played the Serum Visions and then brainstormed.
Ooh, maybe he wanted all the cards.
He did. Well, he has a Misty Rainforest to back it up, so he can perfectly view.
Make it a perfect. Oh my God! All Legacy aficionados.
Perfect brainstorm.
A perfect brainstorm. Jake, what's a perfect brainstorm?
Perfect brainstorm is when you look at 3 cards. You put 2 cards you don't want back on top. To play a fetch land. And to fetch those cards you don't want away from the top of the deck.
Well, none of us really know how this is anymore because Legacy isn't played.
Conversely, if you are not able to fetch away the top of your deck post Brainstorm, you are Brainstorm locked because you know the top cards of your deck.
That is correct, sir, which is also the problem with the actual spell Brainstorm in Legacy where you run very land-light decks. You can Brainstorm lock yourself. So this was also a standard deck when it was in standard because you had perfect brainstorms because you had fetches and you had Jace the Mind Sculptor.
You'll also see sometimes too people casting a brainstorm in response to a discard spell.
That's correct.
Just to conceal information.
Yeah, you're concealing information or hiding a specific combo piece. Legacy gets more down to play patterns and also concealing information.
Yes.
Standard and Modern don't really have play patterns like that. You don't have effects like Cabal Therapy.
No.
Because
it got worse with the beginning of your Taxian Probe too.
Yeah, but Cabal Therapy is still a completely broken card. People have been asking, should that be a mono card? And my stance is absolutely not.
Why is that?
Because you just blind Cabal Therapy somebody, and then you have perfect information. As long as you have a way to sack as long as you have a creature shot, you just get a card for free. So it's any card. And the biggest thing on Cabal Therapy, if you want to bring Cabal Therapy up, Ron.
I want to quickly point out that I really like what Fields did here. He fate sealed Phil. He can very clearly see that Phil is in a lot of trouble because he has no board state. And so when you're fate sealing your opponent, and this is something I feel like people don't do enough with Jace, you're controlling your opponent's draw step. So if it's a threat, you're like, no, you don't get to have that. If it's yet another land or another spell that Bob doesn't care about, then he can have it. And this allows the Jace owner to control their opponent's draw step and really try to lock them out of the game instead of just brainstorming forever and ever and ever. You get certain card advantage, but your opponent can still draw into certain things.
Yeah, so I'll make a comment on that in a second. But Cabal Therapy, the most busted clause on this is target player reveals his or her hand and discards all cards with that name. So you get, especially in Legacy and decks like Storm, you literally get, several Dark Rituals, Lion's Eye Diamonds. So it's very good. So the other mode of Jace is there are some people that play Jace that will only brainstorm ever. I think I brainstorm and brainstorm and brainstorm and brainstorm and brainstorm until I have a full grip with options, and then I'm going to start fate sealing you.
Here's the thing. If
especially if you're under no pressure.
Yeah, if Mr. Field was just brainstorming his heart's desire, Phil could theoretically draw the card he needed. However, since Bob was taking care of Phil's draw step with the Fate Seals...
I still like brainstorming if I'm Bob. Although Phil was so far behind, so the argument is you're going to put him farther behind. But Bob at that point was just drawing... He was filtering to more gas, like Tarmogoyf, which Phil's going to have... If it gets down to a 1-for-1 card battle, Phil can't win. Because his Bolt kills everything in Phil's deck besides Restoration Angel. So at any time, if he hits another Snapcaster Mage or a Bolt... Bob's just the incremental value he's getting off the theoretical +1 card from Brainstorm is just so much more significant than the one random draw that Phil's going to have. So at some point when he gets enough card advantage and 110%, you want to Meadows specials. No, it's not Rug Delver. It is
just Temur Pile.
It's like Tarmogoyf. No, he doesn't play Delver in this. There are a couple people that do love Delver and they played in Temur Shells. Of course, if you watch the Open this weekend, you saw Jeff Hoogland with going tremendous success and then calling his... Where's the store?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
And it is GameSwap. It's in Mason, Ohio, which is a suburb of Cincinnati. You saw his called shot of losing in the first round of the top 8, so way to have a self-fulfilling prophecy. Way to think big. But he was playing Blue-Red Wizards.
While these players are sideboarding, we're going to pull up the league standings.
Oh, Meadows special. No worries. So real quick, yeah. So Robert Meadows is he commentates on Thursday night with me, and he did a month of Temur, and because he loves Temur, but he was too lazy to build the Kiki Temur deck that he wanted to build tonight, so he's just playing his normal Temur pile.
Yeah, no Delver. His one-drop of choice is not really good over Delver's Secrets.
I wish it was Rug Delver. You mean Canadian Thresh? Yeah.
Let's bring up the league standings. In the meantime, at least players are sideboarding for Game 2 to show how players are doing in the league. Again, David Weisenberg has pretty much locked up first place. Players do have to drop the lowest score of the week, but David's lowest score of the week is a 9-pointer. We play 4 rounds here, and the most you can get is 12. Well,
oh my God.
Give us one moment here. We'll pull up the league standings for you.
Kind of want to take Kilnzek and add Goyfs to it. See, the problem with that is you're taking a tempo deck, and you're putting a very good card in, but you're messing up your mana base. Also, Tarmogoyf is not a wizard.
Here are the league standings again. David Weisenberg, 33 points. The lowest amount he can get this week is 9, so he has locked up first place. But second through third will get prizes, and that is still wide open. You see Robert Meadows and Phil Jones both with 21 points playing against each other here in the opening round. Patrick Aguilar, Chuck Bernenferger also with 21 points, but Chuck has a 0-pointer on his record, so he has no ground to lose. He has to have a top performance tonight, as do both Justin Geving and Mark Larson with 27 and 24 points respectively, so they have a little bit of advantage over the rest of the field, but again, they also have a 0-point week, so they cannot afford to slip up at all, even with the advantage. Justin puts up another goose egg. He's going to end up with 27 points, and he can very easily be passed by those other players here. And also, you saw two of the decks that they are playing. Just Guy with Justin, Amulet Titan with Mark, Affinity for Chuck, Death Shadow for Patrick, Death and Taxes for Phil, and then Temur for Meadows. Who do you like out of that bunch of people to have a good night?
David.
Besides David, it was everything. He's actually playing Mardu Pyromancer tonight.
Is he?
Yes.
How dare he?
But between those people, jockeying for second and third, who do you like there with the decks that they're playing?
I don't know. It's actually a toss-up because it's all matchup dependent.
Yes.
I think probably the most solid player, if he plays a lot, is Mark, but he's playing a very complicated deck. He's playing Amulet Titan, so it's kind of hit or miss if he goes 4-0 or 0-4. Chuck's pretty solid with Affinity. It all depends if Phil gets this. If Phil gets this match, then I would take Phil because he's pretty solid.
Yes, he is actually the defending champion of the last month's league, playing the Green White Death and Taxes version.
So seeing like I said, the problem with adding Goyf to that is your mana is worse, and he wants to make it as sleek as possible to be able to cast his 8 bolts, the other 4 Wizard Lightning. Coincidentally enough, did you know the Delver's Secrets, the Insectile Aberration, is not a wizard? So we have a flavor fail. We have to kick that card out of the deck. You can only play it on the 1/1 side. Because if you flip it, that's got to be the worst feeling in the world.
Right? From Wizard to Insect.
Yeah, with Wizard's Lightning on top of your deck. So I'll go ahead and just say that's the full blowout.
Imagine you're happy to flip the Delver, but at the same time,
there goes the value.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Also, you'd have to cut down the creature lands because he is playing the blue-red creature land.
The one I remember him drawing that.
Yeah.
And I remember everyone in chat was very excited about it. He drew that because it was another way to close out the game against his opponent. But I think the commentators missed it. Like they're talking about how's he gonna win this game? How's he gonna win this game? I'm like, he has this femoral on the battlefield.
Yeah, saying you can respond to it because the double reveal and the transformations are trigger, so it has to go on the stack. So like, let's say I see the top card of my deck and I don't want it, right? And it's going to not flip or flip my Delver. I can actually crack a fetch and shuffle so I don't draw that card. So you do have the ability to respond to the Delver transformation. All right, so Phil here with a sweet start of the Ghost Quarter into Aether Vial.
Would you say that is ideal for the Taxes deck?
It'd be nice if you had a basic plants, but yeah. Yeah, turn one Aether Vial where he can display at instant speed is probably ideal. And this has traditionally been the problem with Phil's deck. I think he's playing too many colorless lands, or he's just savagely unlucky. Either or.
Could be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think it's like a Bream-Ad in his hand, possibly, not a Plains. So, yeah, he's going to need to get all the value out of the Aether Vial if he wants to add to his board state.
So how do you feel about Jund winning the Open?
Modern is a very complex.
As long as it's not burn. Get out of here. Oh,
a braid.
Bob with the braid.
The vial in with it.
And this game's probably, I'm going to go ahead and say it's over.
Was that a Seagate Records field, Drew?
All lands are colorless, Mr. Old. Whoa. That is correct. Yeah, it's Seagate. He's going to have to Ghost Quarter himself to fix his mana, and then he's still in a lot of trouble.
How do you feel about that?
I don't feel good about it.
He's going to float some mana.
Yeah.
He's going to Ghost Quarter himself.
So if he has a white land, he can play his Bramaz.
And here's the worst part.
We have land, artifact,
Mr. Fields
instant.
Has all his colors online. So even plays like an Arbiter. It doesn't matter because Bob already has the colors he needs. He doesn't have to fetch for a color.
Yeah, so Phil went from having the best start to the actual worst outcome.
So you get wreckage into
Talia? Ooh. Blade Splicer. So that's what I was talking about. This is kind of the key if Phil wants to be able to win these games.
Pia and Kieran Allard the draw there from Mr. Fields. He's going to play his Sierra Visions. We're going to filter the top of his deck. Draws a Tarmogoyf. Awkward because he cannot cast that Tarmogoyf.
I'm interested why he decided to tap the breeding pool.
Probably because he values the Bolt over the Tarmogoyf. If there is the Bolt. Goodbye, Blade Splicer.
Interesting.
Passes it back. Phil's draw for turn is another colorless land, it looks like.
I guess I'm not that concerned about the Splicer itself. I probably just would have taken out a token because Phil's would have to go run around our land.
Mm-hmm.
So Bob untaps here and draws another card. Looks like it's just a land.
I think he has a... Well, I thought he had a Snapcaster on top, and he apparently does not care about that.
Probably just could have dropped the old mom and pop. Old mom and pop.
He does love his mom and pop. Let's pull up mom and pop on the screen so you can see it in all of its glory. The Magic Origins legendary 4-drop creature.
If this isn't a picture of Jake,
this
isn't a picture of Jake, I don't know what's right with the world.
It would be a picture of me.
And it's not a picture of Jake.
It's not. There is from Magic Origins originally the 4-mana 2/2. Doesn't seem good, but the ETB trigger is pretty good. You get 2 1/1 color Stopters along with your 2/2, and if you're 2 in a red, you get to stack any artifact you want, and it deals 2 damage to any target.
Yep, so definitely above the curve there. Although, of course, Kieran died. Yes. So sorry to tell you that. And then Pia came back as her own card, which is also pretty sweet. It's a standard staple for a while.
Yes. For the longest time, this was seen play in Jund as like a 1-of or 2-of sometimes.
Really?
Yes. People were trying to find that ideal 4-drop.
There's Pia by her lonesome self.
Sometimes it was Kalidas, sometimes it was Huntmaster, sometimes it was Pia and Kieran. And then they unbanned Bloodwraith, and that was the end of that discussion.
Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah.
This is Magic. Everybody dies.
There's a Rest in Peace. How do you feel about that here from Phil? I mean, he has a board state. And he has a way to deal.
Interesting that Bob blocked. Well, I guess he's pretty low. So again,
yeah.
This is what Phil needs, right? He is taxing him definitely. It costs okay. He's doing EE for 2. Doesn't that? Did he pay one more for Thalia?
I'm not sure. He was supposed to, I think. Yeah, I think they just realized that I was supposed to pay. Well, in theory, he doesn't have to. All he has to do
he
is
could cast it for 1.
he casts it for 1 with the additional color. But the question is, did he announce that?
Yeah.
If he said EE for 2, that means he has to pay 3, correct?
He can't. He doesn't get a cost reduction regardless.
Players are trying to figure out what has happened here. So the interaction between Thalia and Energy Explosives is Thalia makes the card cost 1 more, correct?
Uh-huh.
The weird interaction with Sunburst is that you add counters equal to the amount of different color sources you add to it. So if you cast Energy Explosive for X equals 1, you still have to pay 2, correct?
Yes. Therefore,
you can add the 1 with, say, a green, and then that extra 1 with a red. The way it works then is that when it's resolving, Energy Explosives gets 2 counters.
Yeah, I must not understand it. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but he only has 4 mana. He'd have to have 5.
It looks like the question was whether or not, upon resolution, is the explosive exiled or not. So it looks like there's no problems with casting the card. It's just, where does the card go? It looks like it is all in exile.
I thought there was a problem. I didn't think he'd had enough mana.
No, so mana cost was not the problem there. I apologize. You cannot hear the players. They were trying to figure out where the card goes upon resolution. And the answer is exiled. Thalia number 2 there from Phil.
I believe he didn't have enough.
Enough for what, the explosives? No, he had enough to cast it. I think the problem was they were trying to figure out where it went.
Well, you need so to cast for 2, you need 3 mana, right?
Well, if he casts it for 1, he gets a second counter because he pays 2 for it.
Oh, okay, that's it. Okay.
And then they're asking, where does it go with Rest in Pieces?
Why make weird? Why make weird interactions?
I don't know. There's explosives for you.
So it gets the counter,
yes.
But he doesn't have to pay an additional. It's silly. All right, so this game is not looking good for Phil now. All right, let's see what Phil has. Untaps, draws. It was a land. I think Phil kind of got a break with the Rest in Peace lasting for a little while. Interesting.
Yes, we're going to be significantly smaller.
They're both at 1/2. Bob can't cast a spell here. I actually like this attack a lot by Phil.
Why is that?
Because he's going to get damage and he has to double block something if he wants to kill it. Because there's no spell that he can cast that he can pay the extra for right now. Because there's no. He could cast Gut Shot. That'd be sweet. All right, so he plays Big Kitty, and I think the last card in his hand's a Flicker Wisp. So Bob untaps.
There is Brimaz, the once very expensive card from Board of the Gods. That's very little play in constructed formats.
Bob's a little unhappy about drawing the blue-green source tap there with the Lumbering Falls because he really wanted to be able to Jace.
Yes.
He has
an Abrade in hand.
That's an Abrade. Looks like an act of aggression to me.
At least I'm pretty sure it's Abrade. So Adriano, the way it works is that he casts Engine Explosives X equals 1. Because with Thalia, he has to pay an extra mana for that. Because of the way Sunburst works, since he's paying 2 mana for this 1 mana spell, he's using 2 different color sources.
It checks the different colors that you paid for it. And to pay the Thalia attacks, you already paid the extra. So he announces 1. He announces EE for 1, but he pays 2 different colors of mana because of Thalia. Like how Sunburst works, it kind of play with for each color mana used to pay for its cost. So Thalia actually didn't tax it in this instance because he just paid the. It looks like Bob's dead.
Yeah, the restoration.
So it checks the colors. So I announce EE for 1. I play a blue and a green, right? Because that pays for EE for 1, yes. And then it checks on resolution how many colors of mana you paid for it, right?
Correct.
So it's 2 colors of mana, so it gets 2 counters.
Yeah,
yeah, that gets me every single time too, because it's a very, 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 very awkward interaction that shouldn't work like that, but it is what it is. It's like also like Trinisphere with literally any other card Magic. Is also interesting.
So going to game 3 now. Again, both these players really needed to win to put themselves in a position to do well in the final night of the league.
So, and you can see the power of Phil's deck against Bob's. Because Phil had an anemic draw there.
Yeah.
He basically had 1 threat that he rode. Bob played out Mom and Pop, which gave him 3 different threats. He played out a Tarmogoyf. So Phil just played a powerful card. He played Rest in Peace, and then that was dealt with. Thought, yeah, magic is magic.
Magic is indeed magic.
Oh,
yes.
God, magic. Oh, garbage rules. It's because you have all these cards that... Well, I don't know. Sunburst was a thing with Thalia. Was there anything that modified cost then? Besides Trinisphere? There wasn't a, like... Oh, no, there was, like, Sphere Effects. So I guess it was a thing. But...
You would know more than I would, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely Sphere Effects back then. Because Edge Explosives was an original mirrored block, right? Yeah.
Yes, the original mirrored block.
Taxes Praise on Greedy Mana Bases and Spell Decks.
In the first Mana Masters, and has not been reprinted since for some odd reason.
Yeah, X-Arrow. Yeah, Taxes Praise on Greedy Mana Bases. So these 3-color mana bases, if you lay down either Thalia, because Bob's relying a lot on instant sorceries to filter his deck, and then he's trying to win with Tarmogoyfs. So if you take him off that plan with either taxing effect by killing his mana colors, or like let's say playing the other Thalia where everything comes into play tapped, you're gonna pressure him because his deck is a collection of basically it's good stuff, so it's slightly clunky. It's definitely trying to interact in a format where traditionally outside of Jun this weekend you're not really paid for interacting. So what's going on this week? Is there anything this weekend? Commander pre-release.
This weekend is the...
Is it this weekend or next weekend? Well, this weekend's Gen Con.
This weekend Gen Con.
So for those of you that are going, good luck. It's a little bit crowded for my taste. I'm a large individual.
Phil's list should be available at topdeckproductions.com/decks. I know it's green white list, I believe is. And if that is not up there, we'll make sure we get up there. If you have any, if you ever want to see any of these players' deck lists, go to topdeckproductions/decks. If you don't see it on there, reach out to us on Facebook at facebook.com/topdeckproductions. You can message us, and we'll make sure we get the list for you. And also, if you like what you're watching and want to support us, be sure to give us that follow here on Twitch so we know when we go live. Also, subscribe here on Twitch. You have Amazon Prime. Did you know that you get that free Twitch Prime sub each and every month with Amazon Prime?
Oh my God, really? That's such a good deal. And it's free?
It is free, yes. Also, you get
it's free.
You get some free loot boxes too. And,
do you?
Watch and some
and
free,
you get
free
some
goodies too. Make sure you link your Amazon Prime account to Twitch and you get that free sub every month. And also, don't forget to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/topdeckproductions.
Oh, fill with the classic flagstones and flagstones. So flagstones is a legendary land that says when it's destroyed, you go search your deck for a plains card. So you can get a what is it? Is that a sheltered thicket or tranquil? Yeah, sheltered thicket. You can get a godless shrine. So it used to be a thing in like stacks and legacy, right? So you play this in Armageddon, you still have plains left over. Also, you can fix your mana with it because you can play flagstones into flagstones.
So what's the logic here for Phil playing it in a mono white deck?
He would have to have other colors. Plus, it lets him. It just lets him thin his deck. Although I don't think that's particularly relevant. In Modern, there's not a whole lot of uses for it, to be quite honest, because there's no Geddon effects. Well, there is. Fall of the Thran was just introduced in Dominaria, but people don't traditionally play what 5 or 6 man enchantments
Unless
again.
Your name is Saffron Olive.
Yeah, and then you go for it, and then you find out how much Nexus of Fate is on Magic Online, and then your mind blows up. Nexus of Fate is approximately like over 50 ticks on Magic Online.
I think it's like 130 for a playset.
It was 2 something. He tweeted today he paid 2 something for a playset.
He bought the playset. He didn't want to. He said he would have streamed Arena. So you know you might have a problem.
So Nexus of Fate, for those of you who don't know, is a 7-mana enchantment that lets you take an...
Instant.
Instant. It's an instant?
Yes.
Lets you take an extra turn. I'm sorry, I don't know what...
What is the dual face card in Phil's hand? Is that a Huntmaster? I don't... Do you mean Bob's or Phil's hand?
Bob's will be a Huntmaster.
Bob's will be a Huntmaster, yes.
Ooh, Core Firewalker. I like that from Phil. Although it's not particularly useful against any of the creatures. Thalia, Heretic Cathar.
Yeah, that is a Huntmaster of the Phils. And Mr. Fields' hand there.
So Bob again is a little pressed here because it's Huntmaster, and both an EE. EE's not really going to clean up this mess.
The awkward tap fetch Thalia doing some serious work, and Phil's going to put a continued clock, and I think he has a Resto Angel as well.
If Phil actually played a...
There's a Snapcaster Mage. It is,
comes into play tapped.
It is tapped. As Phil quickly points out, can't block with that.
I think it's trying to ambush Viper, and then of course you got the life gain. No life gain, just damage. I'm sorry, that's it. I was thinking a different. I was thinking, what's the white protection black and red, gain a life when a creature comes into play.
Crusade? No. Crusader.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
I do not. Mike Marchell would know what you're talking about. So Bob is looking for a basic mountain here, because that will come into play untapped against this Thalia.
No, it's not Core Firewalker. There's another one.
So let's see. I'm pretty sure that... Like, I'm not seeing things. Phil has the rest of them in hand, right?
Ordoc Champion. Thank you.
Thank you, X-Arrow. Appreciate that.
He does. And he does not have the correct Thalia out, but he's still going to get... He's not going to have a lot of problems here because Phil gets this resto, and Bob's only at 12.
I think he has multiple restos in hand, too.
Oh, so this is problematic for him because he's going to say, here you go. So he gains a 2 life off this. So he goes to 14.
Yes.
Then he's going to flash in this Restoration Angel. If Phil actually has a way to destroy lands here, then Bob gets in quite a bit of trouble because he can hold priority with Tech Edge.
Yes. There's a Horizon Canopy.
With the terrible art.
This is an attack for 6. 3 in the air, 3 first strike on the ground.
Hey, Teddy.
Bob's going to go to 8. How's it going, Teddy? Thanks for
Phil has to be careful because he needs to play a spell here. Whatever he does, he has to...
Preferably a 1-mana spell.
So I think he should just play his Flicker Wisp and flicker out the token. Oh, no. He flickers. He wants to Flicker Wisp the Resto. End step, Resto, come back. See, this is bad. He can miss his own trigger, though. And he misses his trigger. Perfect.
A braid the draw there from Bob.
So the Huntmaster should have transformed there for everybody that's watching.
Always remember your triggers every time.
But that is something you can forget. So the judge would come over and say, hey. And he forgets it. Now he gets it this time. He remembers
it this time, though. Maybe.
It's only. I'm pretty sure you can miss it. It has to go on the stack, right?
Phil's going to try to make a move with his Restoration Angel, but Bob is going to Bolt Thalia.
Phil's going to gain a life if he catches it. He does.
He does. He goes to 22.
Yeah. So basically, what they're going to say is it has to go on the stack. So they come back and ask your opponent, "Hey, do you want to go on the stack?" And you say, "No."
So this is one of those where the "but actually" phase is real.
It is, yeah, because he pointed at it. So I mean, Phil still gets priority because it transforms in the upkeep, right? So he still had a chance to do that after them.
Here is a better Thalia.
So I kind of would probably just attack here if I was Phil first.
Yeah, attack in the air,
and then play the Thalia. Flicker Wisp. I'm going to Flicker Wisp Resto, and then I'm going to Resto, bounce the Flicker Wisp, and then take out a card till the end of his turn. Perfect. Yeah, Phil with the play.
So is this Flicker Wisp just gone until his next turn?
No, the Flicker Wisp comes in at end step, and it exiles a card, and it says at the beginning of the next end step. Oh, okay, I don't like this. Okay, he's just removing a blocker. He's removing a blocker to attack for lethal. So actually, I do like this. I take it back.
Well, because Fields has the Meadows has the. Well, it doesn't matter with the.
It doesn't matter. So as long as the Flicker Wisp doesn't die here, what Phil do is can bounce the Flicker Wisp and then take out the Huntmaster.
Phil Jones gets it. Gets this game 2 games to 1 over Bob Fields Meadows.
Looks slightly frustrated, but you do see the impact and the strength of linear strategies in Modern. Phil just beat down with just creatures, and he interacted at instant speed, which is important with decks with heavy removal.
Yes, as K. Doherty 2 says, Scoop City indeed. Rip indeed from Mr. Fields. Phil Jones with a big win. Defending champion of the June Mono League. In good position here. He needed that win. Also, I want to take this time, too, to let each and every one of you know that in August, we're doing another Mono League. It's 4 weeks, because there's 4 Tuesdays in August. But we're doing some cash prizes this time.
Are we?
We are doing some cash prizes.
Yeah.
We're paying out the top 4 for the week.
In quarters?
What do you mean in quarters?
So when he's paying quarters?
No.
Damn.
We'll be doing $25 to 4th and 3rd place. Second place will get $50. And first place gets a good old Benjamin Franklin bill, $100 cash.
Whoa, that's a lot of cash.
Yeah. For those of you in
cash
the
money in your hand
area that want to play, all you have to do is come out here Tuesdays at GameSwap Mason in Cincinnati, Ohio, and be a minimum $5 patron for Top Deck Productions at patreon.com/Top Deck Productions.
Yep. So if you know anybody that's in the area,
want to win some cash, think you're the best at Modern, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. Well, Jake's not playing, so lightly salted. Big bucks.
Big bucks indeed.
Yeah, Bob's roasted, toasted, burnt to a crisp. There's not a whole lot he can do there.
No.
As soon as the problem with 3-color mana base is he's also playing the creature lands, and had the fetch income to play untapped. He really couldn't ride a Jace at all.
Heretic Cathar did some serious work there.
All right,
Bob.
All right, so let's get down to the brass tacks here. So I got a top 5 list. We're gonna start doing these every week. I did them one a couple weeks ago. So in chat, you can have your guesses for me. So my top 5 list for this week is top 5 Limp Bizkit songs. All right,
which yours is wrong, by the way.
This is 100% correct. All right, so coming in at number 5 is Nookie.
Okay.
Yeah. Are any of you old enough to remember this song? That you did it all for the Nookie?
I remember that song.
Something about a cookie.
It was now that's what I call Music Volume 3, I believe, as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You know, there's like 300 of those.
Yes.
Are we more a fan of kids bops?
Number 4. Number 4.
All right. So
should we do number 5?
Number 4 is Break Stuff, which he's bringing up the music. Well, we should play these on the stream, but we're not.
Someone's saying no.
We don't want to get it. We don't want to get it muted. Yeah, Break Stuff was amazing. All right, number 3 was a cover. It was Behind Blue Eyes. I'm sure people can agree this is a good song.
I hate that version.
Why do you hate this version of the song?
I just don't mess with
Never heard of it, but I'll slash your ass with a chainsaw. You can take that cook and stick it up your. Yeah, I love radio edits. You can stick it up your. Yeah. All right, number 2 is another cover. It was Faith by George Michael. It's slightly different, just slightly different. And do I have any guesses for the number 1?
It's very wrong, by the way. Your number 1 is horribly wrong.
Do I have any guesses for the number 1 Limp Bizkit song of all time? Anybody? I'll wait till somebody gives me a half-assed answer.
We got to scroll down to the chat. I don't know why your chat's scrolling up.
I don't know.
There we go. We have
Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes was actually number 3. All right, the number 1 Limp Bizkit song, My Way's a good one too, is All Star by Smash Mouth, because nobody gives a shit about Limp Bizkit.
You're wrong, first of all. Yeah, your list is terrible. Another old school classic. My number 5 is In Together Now.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know how you missed that.
Okay, well, how else am I wrong? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. Number 1 is clearly right.
You missed In Together Now.
If a band was in the 90s, their number 1 song was All Star by Smash Mouth, because it had the exact same beat.
No.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong. Number 4, I agree, Break Stuff.
Okay.
Number 3 will be Nookie.
Okay.
Number 2 is Rollin'.
Okay.
I remember I think it was 6th or 7th grade dance.
Limp Bizkit's a solid 4.5 out of 10.
Demanded the DJ play Rollin'.
Did you?
And finally, at the end of the night, they let us play, and we all did a mosh pit because we were 6th grade idiots.
Oh my God! I can imagine Smelly Jake without deodorant. It's like Jake now, but without a beard.
It's a song that I can absolutely nail at karaoke.
Yeah.
And we'll get this on camera one night for people.
Okay.
It is My Way. Because that is, without a doubt, the best Limp Bizkit song.
But somebody once told me the world was going to roll me.
That's not even close to the best Smash Mouth song.
I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
That's not even the best. That's not even the best song on that Smash Mouth.
She was looking kind of dumb with her finger in her thumb.
That's not even the best
in the
song
shape
on that
of an L on her
Smash Mouth
forehead.
album.
Well, if you start coming in, it'll.
Static X. I remember one Static X song.
I've been playing a lot of Tony Hawk recently, and you know what song I remember? It was like Power Man 5000. That Worlds Collide.
It's like a world.
Tony Hawk still stands up.
Tony Hawk was a good game, and then they made 50 million of them. And then you could get it with the actual skateboard thing.
Yeah, then it went downhill. But Tony Hawk's 1 through 4.
But exercising's for chump. It's like, hey, we have the Nintendo. When the Nintendo Wii came out, it's like, oh, sweet, I can pretend I'm bowling. And then I realized that's lame. I can just sit in a chair and flick my wrist.
Smash Mouth, yes, Logan Reinhardt. So you just missed it. The August League will occur on Tuesdays. The 4 Tuesdays of August, since it's only 4 Tuesdays. We're not drop a week. It'll be cash prizes, $25 for 3rd and 4th place, $50 for 2nd place, $100 cash for 1st place. And again, if you want to be a part of the league, you must be a minimum $5 patron at patreon.com/TopDeckProductions. KDRD2. I think Slipknot has a new album coming out.
I have Slipknot on my mix. I like Slipknot.
Still holds up.
Yeah. More importantly, I found out the horrible reason why Jake has to drink so much Yoo-Hoo. It's because he hates water.
Water is disgusting.
So we put this to the test. We should have recorded it. We put this to the test last Friday. Because, Ren says you're disgusting, Jake. Wonka, wonka, wonka.
Fair.
So we put this to the test last Friday for scientific purposes only. So we challenged Jake to drink some water. So he went outside, he took a sip, and then projectile vomited because water's bad. So I have a running theory that water's lit. So I have a feeling that Jake is literally dying right now.
Probably also the best Smash Bros. Song is their cover of Why Can't We Be Friends? Don't at me.
No.
Yes.
If anything, it's one from Shrek.
Which one? There's multiple from Shrek. There's All-Star. And
oh, perfect. He said it. He said it.
there was also I'm a Believer from Shrek.
Yeah, that was actually my brother. My brother's like 6'8" at his wedding, and he has no rhythm whatsoever. He and his bride did a choreographed dance.
Also, Fetch You Ming is a fantastic album, by the way. It's way better than Astro Lounge. And I will fight to the death.
I love water. I often joke with my friends that if I didn't have water, I'd die.
Well, I rung on.
Like, how do you drink beer? You know, there's water in beer. There's water in you right now.
I'm aware of that.
You're over 90% water,
I'm
Jake.
aware of that. I don't want to take any more water in me.
You know you're gonna have kidney failure and die.
Well, I'm 31. I've yet to have kidney failure, so.
I've had kidney failure. I'm 35.
I agree if you have an ex. I remember on Fushima, the song about a whitey neighbor. I used to love that song as a kid.
What?
My dad was singing it all the time. I forget. Also, their first album is like really hardcore, like ska type music. That's just absolute flame.
Yeah.
They put out
flame.
They put out an acoustic version of it recently, and I don't know how I feel about it. Well, that'll do it for round one. We'll make sure we get up-to-date standings throughout the evening. Again, Phil Jones victorious over Robert Meadows, a.k.a. Bob Fields. 2 games
November 8th. Can we please play music? We don't care about VODs.
November 8th.
I'll get Bob Fields back here.
It's funny you mentioned
Bob and I are going to karaoke this crap.
For those that are watching Sacha Baron Cohen's new show, he was quoting Will Smith to a Atlanta rapper and a South Carolina politician.
Yeah.
And as this great gangster rapper, and was doing quote as inspirational quotes, quote wiki 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 wild wiki, and this he was doing
James West, Desperado,
super liberal NPR character from Oregon.
Yeah.
As white as you can possibly get.
Perfect.
Wiki, 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 wild. Wiki, 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 wild.
Can we get a sound loop of that?
If you haven't watched any videos of Who is America, and you mildly enjoyed Borat.
Oh God, nobody mildly enjoyed Borat. Sacha Baron Cohen's best work was in the Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
No, my girlfriend Stephanie, she
is wrong.
The biggest crush.
She has terrible taste in men, but
amazing taste in men. Kate Doherty with the quote of the night.
Was that in it?
Did not see.
Was that in it?
Was that what?
Was that quote in it?
No, it's just the good old Eminem Slim Shady quote. Will Smith doesn't have the records. Well, I do.
You know what the best Eminem song is?
What?
All Star by Smash Mouth. Prove it's not.
We're going to take a quick 8 or so minute break. You're watching replays. We'll be back for round 2. Again, we'll keep you up to date for standings throughout the night. Congratulations to David Weisenberg for winning the July League. And if you think you do better than him and you live in Greater Cincinnati, we're giving out cash each and every Thursday in August. We're taking up all your points throughout the month. And whoever has the most points throughout that month, we give us some cash. Check out Facebook.com/Top Deck Productions for more details on the August Modern League.
Jake Corporate Holiday Valentine. I gotta tell you the truth. Your girlfriend has horrible taste in men. Yes, she does.
Sacha Baron Cohen is a national treasure, even though he's not from America. Thank you very much. We'll be back in about 7 or so minutes.
I'm with you.
So stay tuned.